Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Why isn't it working? Oh, here we go. That's why.
Play ball.
Blue 22.
You are watching Sports and Sorts live on YouTube. That's 75% sports, 25% sorts. And here are your hosts, Shane and the Bry Man.
It's us. Woohoo! All right. Well, we got a quick show for you here today, so we are going to try and blast through this as quick as possible.
It's going to be a quick in and out job. The title
of your
sex tape.
Yes. All right. So, quick one here.
By the way, butter pecan is back at Dunkin'.
I don't even know what that means.
Butter pecan flavor swirl. It's good.
I haven't.
No, it's not great. I would say it's like a top 6 or 7 flavor swirl. It's not even in my top 5, but it's okay. It's okay.
Right. Cool. No doubt. All right. Speaking of cool, no doubt. Is that coming back? When is that coming back? Are they able to film?
What's going on? I don't know. I mean, who is able to film right now?
I don't know.
I don't even know. I'm not
That's
sure.
what I'm unclear. Is that going to come back, or what's going to happen? Do they have any left in the can? Are they just on hiatus? I should probably look that up. Because I'm looking forward to seeing that come back. So
yeah, no doubt.
So anyway, we have a couple of things to talk about today. One is The Last Dance, episode 9, that aired last night. 10 aired? I didn't see it.
Yeah, it ended last night. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see 10. I thought they were I thought they were gonna split them up because I was like, I don't see 10 anywhere.
Yeah, it was right after. Yeah.
Oh, I did not get 10.
The show ended last night.
That's unfortunate. I would have watched it. I watched 9 and then I couldn't see 10. Hulu. Oh, Hulu. So, I watched episode 9, but not 10. And so you can talk about 10. I'll talk about 9.
I'm trying to figure out. Well, I mean, there were basically 2 things that I primarily wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. One in episode 9, which was, I'm sorry, this is a major revelation here that
food poisoning
the flu game is actually the Utah food poison game.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And the Twitter semi blew up a little bit over it last night. I mean, there were a lot of funny tweets, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say that's probably the biggest news. And look, I don't think it does anything. I mean, if anything, it actually maybe even adds to the legacy of the performance because it wasn't just the flu. I mean, he was poisoned.
Yeah.
And wow, does that sound like a really fucking messed up situation? I mean, first of all, 5 guys delivering a pizza to your door. And
there's only one time you should be getting food from 5 guys, and that's burgers and fries.
And that's burgers and fries with the malt vinegar on the fries. But wow, the revelation that Michael Jordan, the game before the quote-unquote flu game of the NBA Finals, was poisoned by bad pizza, which I'm assuming there's a lot of bad pizza in Utah anyway. So you can only imagine how much worse this would have been if it was poisoned.
Yeah.
And kind of at the behest of his trainer and his friend there, they were like, yeah, I don't know if I'd eat that. And he didn't care. MJ was hungry. Although the one thing I can't why couldn't he get, he was just craving pizza? He couldn't have just got room service? Mm-hmm. I mean.
No, they didn't have it.
Oh, they didn't have it. Okay.
Right.
That's what I thought. All right. Because, I wasn't sure if that was in there, but because I think I was just so floored.
And he also apparently, to make sure that none of his buddies or anybody ate the pizza.
Yeah.
Apparently he spit on the pizza. He was like, don't you dare even think about eating this pizza. And he spit on it. because he was hungry. That's why he ate the whole pizza and nobody else got sick.
Damn. That was huge. I mean, that was just. I mean, I guess it doesn't ultimately matter because, again, either way, Jordan was sick as a dog.
Yeah,
you can tell. I mean, the more you continue to look at the footage, you could just tell he just looked.
He was.
I mean, but imagine being able to perform like that. Now, listen. If that had been a regular season game, he would have sat out.
Oh,
I mean, maybe even an early playoff round game, he might have sat out.
Nah,
probably not though.
Yeah,
but regular season, he would have sat out. But wow! And listen, I'm pretty sure I got food poisoning last year, as you know, in November.
Yeah,
and I can tell you that is no cakewalk. It is not fun. I've told people, and I will continue to tell people that is the most sick I have ever been in a 72-hour window. It's gross. Yeah. And I thought maybe it was COVID-19, but it just didn't last long enough. It just didn't have the staying power that coronavirus has. Because if you get that, supposedly you're wiped out for at least 2 weeks. I was out for like 3 days, and then by the 4th or 5th day, I was pretty much back to normal. Although I had lingering stomach issues from it for well over a month. But I can tell you though that food poisoning is no walk in the park, man.
I remember you were like hooked up to an IV just before we went on the show.
First of all, here's how sick I was. How sick were you, Brian? This is how sick I was. I was so sick. And this is, now keep in mind, I'm a remote worker. I work from home, okay? I've worked from home for the majority of my career, at least the last 13 years. And I can tell you in those 13 years, there have only been 2 days in my life where I have not been able to work, even though I would have been sick.
Right.
It was the first 2 days that I had that food poisoning. I was so laid out, I couldn't move a muscle in bed. Everything hurt. My whole body ached. Chills, fevers, sweats. I mean, everything you can imagine in a 48-hour span. I mean, the only thing that was weird to me was I didn't vomit. It just came out the other end. But, man. So, if Michael Jordan had that and dropped 37 points in an NBA Finals game, no pun intended, holy shit. Because that really is a performance for the ages, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we've all had a cold or maybe even a flu. And while it definitely knocks you out, I mean, you could probably walk around a little bit. I can't even imagine playing 40-some-odd minutes of a basketball game. And not only just playing the game and not being a decoy, but excelling in the game. Like, that's nuts.
Being a deciding factor.
It's nuts. My God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So that was from episode 9, the big revelation. And of course,
also the whole thing with Steve Kerr and his father and like that, like
that was rough.
Yeah, there was like when they, and then when he went on to like make that shot and then give that speech, kind of like joking around with Jordan and all that kind of stuff about like how, they went in the huddle and they basically were like, Jordan, you're going to get the bot. And Jordan was like, you know what? I'm not really comfortable taking these shots and being in these situations. Like just the whole thing, like when he made the shot and all that kind of stuff, I was kind of like, I teared up a little bit. I was like, oh. And then you were taught, and he was talking about it before, and he was like, my father would be like so incredibly like just over the moon thrilled about being in the situation that I'm in. And then he obviously went on later a little bit to go make the shot, and I was just like, man.
Also had some fighting back tears.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. It was there were some tear jerkers in there, and then Jordan got attached to that his security guard there, Gus, who actually did pass away from lung cancer in 2020. Later, It was 2020. It looked like but he said that
2000.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, 2000. Yeah. And that gentleman had become a father figure to him after James was murdered. So really, there were some heart wrenching moments in episode 9 for sure. I mean, no doubt about it. And then episode 10 finished it up. You know how the series ended. But obviously for me, and it's the reason why I'm wearing my NWO bandana today, is because, so you really did not, so you have probably no idea, but there was a lot of Hulk Hogan, brother, in episode 10, which was just phenomenal. I was waiting for that to happen. And I was waiting and hoping that would somehow get in. And of course they saved the best for last, man. They saved Hollywood Hogan for episode 10, man, because his presence was very much felt.
No clue.
Obviously.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But now I'm very excited to watch that.
Well, see, then again, if you're not a wrestling fan, you really probably might not even remember this as much as I do.
Yeah.
But one of the big stories in '98 in those finals was that Dennis Rodman, I think it was a game 3 or whatever, took a little time off to go hang out with his buddy Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, and join up with the NWO for a pay-per-view in June. And that was a big story. They're like, oh man, Dennis gone AWOL again. And who was he with? He was hanging with Hollywood Hogan. And it was great. I was giddy as a schoolboy. I was giddy as could be last night watching those Hulk Hogan highlights, strumming his NWO belt. Oh, it was so great. It brought me right back. It brought me right back to the summer of '98, man. So great. Him and Rodzilla, because that was what Hogan called him. He called him Rodzilla. Oh man. Just the fact that Hulk Hogan not only got like a cameo, but a pretty cool cameo in this entire thing. I wish they had interviewed him, actually. That would have been great. They did not. They didn't interview him. But why not? I kind of wish they had, because they spent a decent amount of time on the subject.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. And the other thing out of episode 10 too, that I don't know if it was a cantankerous relationship between Jordan and Scott Burrell, or if he just loved to rip on Scott Burrell. Scott Burrell was like his whipping boy, man.
I remember when they were talking about when Ahmad Rashad was in episode 9. He was talking about how, like, this is like, I can't remember the exact wording that he used. But he was basically saying something along the lines of like, you like something where you needed to be like, you're either the guy or not, like, and right. This is either it's like, this is it.
Some can,
you
some
can. That was, I think that's what he said. Yeah.
Some can, some can't.
And Jordan was like, don't tell Scotty that. Don't talk to Scotty that. You're gonna break him. Like, don't.
Yeah, right.
Like, and it's like, wow, like, that's crazy. So
I kind of forgot too so hold on. I still don't understand. Like, what was it about Scott Burrell though that attracted Jordan to just rip on him and rag on him? I mean, he was just like,
he said he was like such a nice guy. He wanted him to kind of like push him harder, and he was just never really the guy that really wanted to like, kind of like really get there. Like, he was never like, I'm gonna like just go to war all the time, be like, but like, I don't know. He was just a totally nice guy. He could never get him to could never break him to be, that mean-spirited kind of guy. He would give it back to him, but more of in a jovial way, You know what
else is kind of funny is in hindsight, I guess I never really realized the tight relationship that Jordan and Ahmad Rashad had. I mean, I knew that, it was almost, this sort of almost portrays Ahmad Rashad as like Jordan's personal press guy. He's almost like his PR guy. He just seemed to be around him constantly.
Yeah.
He was almost like a confidant.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even really like media. He was just always there hanging with him. And it was weird.
It was a little weird. I mean, so episode 10, did it wrap up well?
It wrapped up well. Yeah, it wrapped up well.
Was it not as good as a lot of the others, or?
Well, for me, it was just because the Hogan stuff just made it. I mean, it catapulted it into my favorite episode. But I mean, let's put that bias aside,
right?
And focus on the fact that no, listen, it was a good wrap up episode. They I would say about 35 minutes of the way through to 40 minutes of the way through, they finished with they finished up the story. They finish up game 6 where they wrap it up in Utah. What I thought was interesting too was So after the game, they get on the bus. Jordan is actually still in uniform. He didn't like shower and get into a suit. He got on the team bus. They went back to the hotel. He still got his hat, his jersey, and his stogie. They're in the hotel. He's in his room, badly playing the piano with all these people around him, and he looks like he's in the locker room still. He did not shower. Maybe they mentioned why, but I mean, I'm guessing he just didn't want to take the jersey off. He probably knew that was it, and then of course the whole, they delved a little bit into the whole Brian Russell and, that kind of thing. And, the push off. And even though it really was not a push off and
it wasn't the Reggie Miller push off.
Even Bob. Oh no, that was a push off. That was a shove.
Yeah.
That was a shoulder tackle.
Yeah.
He
went in there and he definitely gave him a nice.
Yeah.
That was
fine. Who cares? Yep. I didn't care.
I think that was. I'm surprised they didn't talk. I'm surprised they didn't talk to Jordan more about that, because, just to kind of say this is what, and because I think Jordan was surprised that someone would actually do that to him.
Oh, of course.
Because if he was ready for it,
give it to Reggie. Reggie had balls, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. And I think that, and they addressed that a little bit, but I think that they really, I'm surprised they didn't kind of talk to Jordan. You were shocked that he kind of came at you like that, weren't you?
Reggie, I love that Reggie did not have fear of Jordan.
Oh,
I like that. I mean, you have to respect
that. Not at all.
Yeah. And I actually liked what Reggie said. Because, you hear this a lot, sort of without the caveat that Reggie gave it. But Reggie said, I thought he's like, we had the better team. And he may have been right about that.
Yeah.
He's like,
maybe.
But they had that championship.
They had a team that could have won.
That they
I don't
could
know if they had a better team.
Yeah, right. I mean, but he's like, but they had that championship experience that they could lean on. And he's like, and that was what put them over the top.
For sure.
And it was, he really summed that up well, because that probably on paper, well, you know what? I don't know if it was a better team. I agree with you. It was either as good a team, but it was a deeper team.
It was a great team.
That Pacers team was deep. And I think that Pacers team, had they gotten to the finals, would have beaten Utah.
Probably. It would have been.
But Utah was good too.
It would have been a weird matchup. Talk about Midwestern kind of.
Pacers Jazz. That would not have actually. I mean, that wouldn't light the world on fire.
Nobody would have been excited about that, because they would have just wanted Jordan's Bulls. No. But yeah.
But I'll tell you what. Just to kind of wrap up this series, we've obviously talked about this series quite a bit over the last 5 weeks. This has just been great. First of all, so desperately, we really needed something like this at this time with no live sports to watch. And this was great. It couldn't have been released at a better time. I still cannot believe the access that they had to all of these guys. I mean, it's really astounding.
Great series.
The footage that was unearthed. I mean,
great
it really
series so far.
It really was.
For me. I've only watched 9, obviously, but yeah.
And listen, I loved episode 10 again because of the Hogan presence was just tremendous.
Yeah. I thought they were doing what all these movies did. They were going to just break it up and be 9 and 10, do back to back to kind of stretch it out a little bit longer. But apparently not. Yeah.
Nope.
All right. I'll have to go back and watch it for sure.
Very enjoyable series. I liked it a lot. Look, I mean, who knows how? There's no way speculation on how long we will be without sports. I mean, you could give a whole show to that. We just have no idea at this point. But I hope more things like this come out to keep us entertained, because we're going to need it, because we may be in for a long haul here. So Speaking of which, Clint said he got his COVID antibodies test back, and he has tested positive, so that's good. He has antibodies, which is excellent. Sorry that he had to get it in the first place, but glad he's got the antibodies. Now, what's interesting, though, was there was a story over the weekend.
Yeah, I posted both of those things about him. He was talking about Go Bills. Oliver drinks, and he also said his antibodies, came back positive.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about Ed Oliver, but, I mean, I guess it's par for the course for a lot of NFL players. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a league of miscreants and criminals at times. It's sort of, I don't know. I mean, it's just the way it is. Yeah. But he'll have a suspension. He'll be back.
Yeah.
But I saw this story over the weekend about, I guess it was 3 naval officers who had gotten it, but then have tested positive again and are sick again. Yeah. So does that
So there is basically this is a kind of I would say a wide known but not well talked about thing with, like, if you got it once, don't think that you're immune.
Right.
Like, that's because they don't know. And it seems like there's a chance. So just don't think that you're immune. That's just the whole thing. Like, don't test it. Don't think you can just go out and start hugging babies and and all that kind of stuff, and
I
mingling with everybody.
I go out very rarely. I have had the same tank of gas for a month, and I still have a half a tank left. So that just goes to show you how very little I go out. When I go out, it's just it's 2 things: go to the dump and do the food delivery that that I do.
Yeah. So Clint and also Clint says, Shane, how did you get a haircut if hair salons are closed? If you follow me on Insta, or anything like that, you would know my wife, shaved me up a little bit, and then I touched up the sides a little bit more afterwards. And
I haven't paid for a haircut in over 20 years.
I definitely cut my own hair. Didn't. Yeah, it was a duo team up with me and my wife.
See, yours is harder because you do fading, and I
didn't. This is definitely not faded, but yeah, it's it's that we touched up the sides, and
but you're like the top is more than the sides, and I don't do any of that shit. Yeah. I mean, I just the whole thing,
Yeah.
So but I haven't paid for a haircut in over 20-something years. But I will tell you though, I'm not afraid to admit it. Because I'm never afraid to admit my fears. I have many of them. I'm actually more afraid of people who say they have no fear of anything, because those are dangerous people. Because living a life without fear is not living a life with humility. And I think that's really fucking dangerous. As you can tell throughout the country, there's a lot of stupid going on. And listen, but I will tell you, I am crippled with fear over this thing. I do not want to get this thing. I do not want to get this thing. Not necessarily for fear that I won't survive, but for fear that I could pass it on to my kids, and more importantly to my wife.
Yeah.
And I can't be fucking afraid. It is okay to be afraid of this. And it is okay to be overly prepared and overly cautious in how you handle yourself.
Yeah.
I won't go into the level of detail about what we just did with my wife, who actually had to go get some blood taken on Friday. It was, if I told you the steps that we went through, you wouldn't be surprised, because you do a lot of this yourself too, especially because you're a
little bit of a germaphobe over here. Yeah.
Yeah. I will tell you what, I was never, ever a germaphobe before this. I am now. And you know what? I think that's a good thing. I'm perfectly fine with it. Yeah. No problem with it. Because you know what? I would like to be one of those people who gets to complain about how much it sucks to get old, because I would like to get old. So
yeah.
So this is, what?
I want to live. I want to be alive for a long time.
I feel like Bill Murray at the end of Scrooge, where he's inside the burning coffin and he's like, I want to live. I do too. Yeah. And then he gets out of the elevator. I'm alive. He goes, holy shit, what a break. That's great. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now about this. Yeah. I would like to live.
Yes, please.
And just take every precaution. All right. I always keep telling myself, if you think you're doing too much, like washing your hands or hand sanitizer or putting hand sanitizer over gloves that are already on you, you're not. You're doing everything you should be doing.
Yeah. Try and do a little bit more.
Yeah, you can do more.
All right, so let's get on some quick things. PGA came back briefly. They had a little bit of the driver for relief, or something, the drive for relief, where Rory, Justin Johnson, Matt Wolff, and Fowler, Ricky Fowler came back. They played, and obviously Rory and DJ won. They beat Wolff and Fowler. But it was close, and Rory stepped up, and Rory looking jacked. Rory's looking good. He's looking in some good shape, and he's going to come back. He's the world number one, and he's going to come back, and he's going to be good. Golf is slated to come back in June. I think it's June 11th is when they're going to do the Schwab tournament. They're going to be playing the Travelers tournament here in Connecticut. That's in at the end of June. And then, they're going to be going to doing the Rocket.
I'm assuming no fans, right?
I think it's going to be very, very minimal stuff. Like, it's not going to be fans, but there's going to be, obviously there's going to be TV crews and stuff like that. And
sure,
caddies are they're going to have to figure something out with that. But it was interesting to see these guys walk though. Like Dustin Johnson kept on forgetting his bag, which was kind of funny. He kept on like having to go back and get his bag.
Where's my bitch? I mean, my caddy.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very interesting to see that. And I'm very intrigued with next Sunday with the match to part 2 with Phil and Tiger and Brady and Peyton. I'll be interested to see that because I wish they would do this a little bit more because I want to hear them talk and I want to hear a little bit of trash talk and I want to hear this kind of stuff. Like, that's what I want to hear. Come on, like, break it. Let's go. Like, get out there.
So when is that? Is that next Saturday?
Next Sunday. I think it's either Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. The 24th,
how much are they charging for that? Like 30?
I don't even know if they're charging. I have no idea I have no idea what the cost is yet. I haven't even.
Well, I mean, it would be a good thing to charge for and have all the money go to like food shares.
I know that whatever they're doing is that it's it's obviously for the relief, but so I don't know what the cost is, but I'm sure donations are going to be heavily involved because that's what this is all about. So
yeah.
So it'll be very interesting. I think they should do something with the women too. I think they should bring women versus men. Have a couple of the top women players, and or do like don't just do 4. See if you can do like 8. And do a mixed bag of women and men and all that kind of stuff, and see what you can do. Best ball, scramble,
I'll watch
do something.
That. I will watch that.
Oh yeah. I didn't really pay close attention to the one yesterday. I mean, this foursome. It was more like a tailor-made thing. I didn't pay it close attention. I actually didn't even totally forgot about it, and then kind of just caught a couple of glimpses here and there. But what I saw was, was good to see. Fowler out there looking ripped, and I was like, well, all right, let's see what happens when he comes back, because a lot of people aren't staying as good a shape as him for sure.
Yep.
All right. So and then I was able to watch a couple of movies. I watched Ford versus Ferrari, which I thought was a really good movie. It was a slow burn to start, but it was engaging. A good slow burn, and then when it kicked on. Whoo! It was intense, and it was go, and it was. I really enjoyed that movie a lot. I know that you haven't seen it yet, but highly recommend that movie. Bought it, and I am so glad I did, because that is a movie I'm definitely going to watch a couple more times for sure. And I also saw me and the wife watch Bad Moms Christmas.
Now that movie I've seen, and that movie I love.
I
love it. I love both the Bad Moms.
Well, you love Christmas.
Both the Bad Moms.
It's like your favorite.
And I love Christmas. Yeah. Yes.
And
yes, and her mother, like her
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis' mother in that movie, she's like my spirit animal for Christmas. So yeah. She's go big or go home.
And
awesome.
And she did a great job. Is it Christine Baranski, something like that, whatever her name is? She's great. She plays that role so well.
She plays that role of like old rich white lady really well.
I loved Kristen Bell's mom in this.
Yes. She's
so good.
Yeah, she was good. She was good.
Overall it was a decent movie. I wouldn't say it was anything great, but it was entertaining enough. Me and the wife enjoyed it, but
it was a good Christmas movie, and I liked
entertaining. It was
fine. The Bad Moms movies. It's a nice little franchise.
I enjoyed the other one more.
I mean the other one's,
Christina Applegate was in the other one a little bit more, but her appearance in this one was good too.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yep.
So
they're fun movies.
Yeah, it was good. It was decent. I actually, when they were in the church, and and this is how just sappy I am. When Mila Kunis and her mom were talking, when they were in there and they were chatting, and giving all this love and heartfelt, stuff going on.
Yeah.
I started to tear up. Like, that's just me. That's just how I go. It's weird. It's sad.
You're even worse than me in some ways.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah. So I watched both of those movies. Yeah, I recommend them. You can find freaking, Bad Moms Christmas pretty much anywhere. But Ford vs Ferrari, definitely recommend.
Anywhere movies are sold.
And we're gonna have to sign off in about a minute because I have to sign on to a doctor's appointment, do a little telehealth action. Yeah. So, do you watch anything? I know that you've been doing the some old movies with the kids, but on Fridays.
Yeah. So we didn't have movie night on Friday. The girls had something going on with their cousins they were playing some game or whatever. So on Saturday we did Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which they also liked very much. So now it's just on to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't know when we'll get to that. I did watch Scoob, the movie Scoob, which just came out.
Any good?
It was okay. I was a little disappointed, actually. I had it really built up in my head, too.
Really?
I love Scooby-Doo stuff. Yeah. I wanted it to be more of like a...
I was getting my
school
camera
Scooby-Doo
stand set up for my appointment.
It wasn't really like parts of it were like a kind of a Scooby-Doo episode, but then... I don't know, the whole villain, like Dick Dastardly, like I guess I wanted it to have more of like a supernatural vibe.
Yeah.
But it just didn't really have that to me. It was okay. Lex likes it though. He's entertained by it.
That's good.
The other thing I did actually watch was parts 1 and 2 on WWE Network. They have something called The Undertaker: The Last Ride. It's like a documentary. This is the first time that The Undertaker in 30 years has really broken character.
Oh wow.
He has more of a social media presence now, and because his career is obviously winding down, he's good for like maybe 1 to 2 matches a year tops. And this has been like a really kind of in-depth look, and he allowed camera access, very similar to how the Bulls did in '98, how they had all this camera access, and it's been a very interesting. I think it's a 5-part series, so the first 2 episodes have been there have actually been some tear-jerking moments in there for me too. So I've enjoyed that so far.
Cool.
So yeah, keeping busy as best I can.
Yeah, it has been. It's been interesting to see what you can do. Like I said, I was talking to you before about how we were finally able to get the kids in the pool because our heater had broken and it took a while, and there's lots of obviously money and stuff that we just you don't really want to spend, but it's like we need to keep the kids active, and that is a great way to keep them active. And
I would imagine
trying to. I mean, thankfully we have. I hooked up a zip line for the kids a little while ago.
We did. So we opened the pool, but we're obviously quite a few weeks still from being in it. And then we did. So because we had this years ago, we have a bouncy house, and we did that for Lex over the weekend.
Oh, nice!
He loved that. Oh my God! Every day. His birthday is tomorrow, so we got him this like big. Kind of like an outdoor canopy barbecue thing. It's like one of those step 2, like big plastic kind of things,
Yeah.
And then, we've got some pretty cool gifts for him. So we're going to celebrate tomorrow. I'm taking tomorrow off of work. And then we've got a 4-day weekend. Our company gave us Friday off too. Very nice.
That is very nice.
We've got, it's pretty awesome.
We have to, we were thinking about doing it last week, but we'll have to do another Shane Man and Brian Man get together over some drinkies.
This past week, I did actually do my first driveway happy hour. So guys came over. Everyone was at least 15 feet apart.
Went well?
It went well. Yeah, nice. I thought it was good. Yep, awesome. We did like 4 corners. Put beer in the middle. Like I measured everything out. So like even if you came into
driveway
the middle,
chalk. Yes,
I did. No, nice. I put everybody's initials in chalk on the driveway where they were to sit. I put the beer in the middle, and even if you went into the middle, you were still at least 8 to 10 feet away from anyone else.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
So
I like that.
And I just and we just outside. It was a really beautiful day. I think it was last Thursday. So that was kind of cool. It was good just to see like everybody's faces and not just like this,
Yeah.
It's just nice
you don't want to see me like this.
And it was just nice.
Yeah, it is. We actually went for a walk with a friends of ours.
It was so bad. I wanted to go and hug all of them, but I'm like,
don't even think about it. Yeah,
I wanted to, but I was like,
me and
just stay away.
my son's best bud was able to come over. They did a social distancing bike ride up and down our street. We've because we go up and down our street a lot. And they did a social distance bike ride, and we saw a good friend of ours, which is my son's best friend's mom, we were able to, chat for a little while. It was nice to just see another person. Thankfully, we had our, Cameron and my daughter Isla, their grandparents came over, Mimi and Pop. They've been coming over quite a bit, doing some social distancing, walking and things like that. And we were able to play golf a couple times at their country club. They do a great job of, we go in the afternoon when there's like nobody there. And on top of that, they do a pretty good job of just, separating the tee times so that it's far enough apart and you never see anybody. Yeah. So we were able to do that a couple times as well. But they came over and, Pop went in the pool with the kids and they stayed away 6 feet apart, the whole time. And, it was good. It's good to get them, it's good to kind of have like a little quarantine, where people that, that are doing a good job of keeping socially distant and you're able to kind of still kind of act, be together, but socially distant.
Right.
It's interesting time, but it is what it is. It's just got to do what you got to do.
We're all making adjustments, and these are the ones that we have to make. And I mean, at least it was nice, like you said, though, to see other people besides the people in this house. Not that I don't love seeing the people in this house, because I live with them. But
I'm doing I'm doing my first golf outing today with with a friend of mine, and he's going to take a cart. I'm going to push my cart. I'm going to see how that is out there in a different course where I haven't played there this year. I'm going to Lyman. I'm going to walk in the player course, which is brutally mountainy. So I'm going to see how that is. And, I'm bringing my mask, but I'm not going to wear it.
You'll get a good workout.
I'm going to bring my mask, but I'm not going to wear it unless I feel like I need to. And then, obviously I'm gonna have my hand sanitizer stuff in my bag and, all that kind of stuff. And, I'm gonna play from probably the tips. So I'm going to stay away, and then he'll probably play the blues. So we'll constantly be distantly, apart, but I'm gonna see how it is. I'm going to see how that is and see if, he and I can possibly, continue to play together from time to time, but, cause it's just been brutal, staying home all the time. But
I can't tell you how much, for some reason it hit me today, how much I really miss being at a baseball park and having like a giant
just listening in the background
vat of chicken and fries and popcorn and beer and I miss it.
Yeah,
the things that we took for granted.
I miss seeing just in general, just having it on in the background, on the TV while I'm doing work and stuff,
Right. Yeah. I know.
Sad.
I know.
Very sad. All right. So I'm going to log into my doctor's appointment, and then you and I will maybe we'll stay in contact. You guys want to hear us? You guys want us to do another drinking episode? Go ahead and put it in the comments. We'll see if we can get to it. And,
all right. Well, we've reached the end of the show. Part of the journey is the end. Stay classy, Planet Globe. Find me on Twitter at @the_Brian_man. You?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at @IronHornersFinkle, on Instagram at Happy McAvoy.
Okay.
Peace out. Much love.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Till Monday, or
if
you want us, Saturday, maybe.
We'll see.
See how it goes. Yeah. Bye.